Jason Bible, Rob Orfino, Texas Real Estate Mastermind. I was getting it about half right yesterday.
The Texas Real Estate Mastermind. Yeah, I got to use the. Yeah.
Well, today's election day.
Oh.
I have not gone to vote. I'm trying to figure out, I have this strategy. In fact, Rush Limbaugh employed it during the primaries, and it worked really well. It's called Operation Chaos. So this was during the election, the preliminary between Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. Mm-hmm. And so essentially what he was doing is encouraging his listeners to register as Democrats and then vote for one or the other depending on how close they were in the primaries. It was called Operation Chaos. It was pretty funny, and it actually worked, which is kind of surprising. So I'm thinking of starting my own Operation Chaos.
Well, what's that?
We will find the worst candidates in every race and vote for them, be they Republican or Democrat.
Why?
To accelerate the crash, Rob.
Oh, yeah, we have to have the crash, yeah.
Or what everybody's calling the reset. Jason, there's a big reset coming.
There's a reset coming. Yes, you're right. It's in the stock market. It's happening right now.
Happening.
How you doing? How's your 401k looking?
How's that looking, bud?
Yeah, how's that good?
I got to get cash flow, Jason.
Yeah.
How's that cash flow working out
How's
for
that
you in the stock market? One of my favorite things Grant Cardone says is your best decisions have gotten you to the place you're at now.
Right. Here you are.
There you are, buddy. Your best decisions have led you to listen to this award-winning radio show. You're really now contemplating your life choices. You're like, oh,
Have
Jesus,
we
what
won
am I
an
doing?
award? We should give ourselves
We're going to give ourselves an award.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, remember, we're supposed to do that thing.
Oh, that thing, yeah.
We're supposed to do that thing.
Oh, yes.
It's on the list, but
Yes. Mm-hmm.
we'll get around to it. Next year, we'll do that thing.
We're missing one more person. We're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting there.
I'm getting a little jelly because I'm seeing some other real estate gurus on local news, and I'm like, I really need my publicist here.
Yeah. Who cares?
I know. It's still funny.
Who cares?
So, yeah, real estate, things going well. People are not jumping. I'm going to interview Rob Trigg. I assume it's Rob Trigg on Friday. Maybe it'll be Alex.
Pull up 2008 to 2013. 2009 to 2014 off of Fred data.
For a database? For like what, mortgages or what?
Just the housing prices here in Houston.
Okay.
Because this is the crazy thing. We are absolutely going through our fourth chaotic black swan, whatever you want to call it, right? So, big freeze in here in Houston, COVID, that was crazy. Harvey, like huge, massive disruption, right? And now here we are with economic uncertainty and the mortgage-backed securities going crazy and the currency market just all over the place, which is destroying everything else, right? So within the 5-year period, 4 years, so 2018, right? End of 2018 was Harvey. So it's been 4 years. We're going to our 5th year. In that 5-year period, and then I want to look at 2009 to 2014.
I don't know what the deal is. I'm on the Fred website, but it's taking forever to load the graph.
So if you invested in 2000, if you were invested in the market prior to Harvey, single families, couple duplexes, right? And you stayed with it all the way through, would you have made money?
So 2008?
Yeah, 2000. Well, you can look at 2009 to 2014.
Harvey was 17.
Yeah, so look at 2008. Look at 2017 to today.
Okay.
So the recent history, the last 5 years. Quiet because we're looking up data.
So the index. So this is an index. It's gone from 260 to 360. So essentially, prices are up
40%.
40%.
Yeah. Well, 100 into 262.
Yeah. Almost at least a third.
Yeah, 40%. 39. Yep. Okay. So then we take a little dip after Harvey. How many people jumped in?
Dude,
Nobody.
Yeah, nobody did. There was a neighborhood, and I knew it during Harvey. I just knew it. But the challenge was raising capital. Because here's the problem. Here's what everybody gets wrong. And Alex talked about this at the TED Talk, or at the Red Talk last week. And that was, when real estate markets crash, one of the reasons there's so many deals is because there's no money.
It's the capital. Yep.
So when these idiot investors run around and say, I'm going to go in and well, Jason, you stay. When the market crashes, I'm going to buy everything. I'm like, you're not going to have any money. Your $2 million in your checking account is going to go like that. And don't get me wrong, you're going to make some money, but you need to have those banking relationships, those hard money relationships. You got to have those relationships established long before. And let me explain what a relationship is. It's not drinking beers and eating free chicken wings at the RIA Club. It's actually doing business with these guys.
Yes.
That's what it means.
Making
An
your
exchange of money, doing business. Well, Jason, I don't want to pay their 3 points and 12%. Well, guess what? When the chips are down and COVID 2023 comes around and no one's lending, they ain't lending to you because they don't have a relationship. I'm not saying Jet, I'm just saying in general. Like, you have got to be...
General lending. All the hard money lenders, I don't want to single them out. They'll drop the LTVs.
Oh, yeah.
There's
absolutely.
another point. Or there's a higher interest rate, right?
If they're in business.
Yeah, if they're in business, right.
I mean, I don't know about
Where
you.
are all those hard money? Where are all those guys who are like, hey, man, I'm a hard money lender. I'd love to do your hard money. Where'd they go?
I don't know. I'm on
Where are they?
Facebook. I'm on Facebook a lot. And aside from like the handful of guys I've worked with over like the last decade, I don't see a lot of players anymore.
No.
In fact, one that was kind of up and coming, they kind of disappeared. I don't even know where they're at.
Sure.
So it's really strange, to say the least. Mm-hmm. It's really strange. You could almost say there's a real estate investor crash because we used to have, I shouldn't say we, the industry would host meetings with over 1,000 people at.
Yeah.
And one of the things I keep having a conversation with a lot of guys, I'm like, who hosts the biggest meeting in town now? And it's like, well, it's 100 people here, maybe 200 people.
200 people, yeah.
If we do our Lazy Oaks thing right, we'll have 300 people there. So I'm like, you're telling me that's
it.
the biggest meeting in town is our drink beer with Jason on Friday afternoon once a month? Like, it's weird to me. It's kind of like the investor market's dried up. And not because the deals aren't there, just because I think it's the uncertainty.
It is the uncertainty. It is absolutely the uncertainty. And you know, one of the questions we're now asking is, you know, how much volatility can you stomach? Right? And we're finding out that a lot of people, the funny money is their 401k, right? Like, they don't look at it as real.
Right.
They just believe it'll be there when they need it, and that's not the case, right? As soon as someone's actually got to write a check, right, and go and give it to a title company, all of a sudden they're freaked out about that.
I don't think your IRA or 401k is investing. I've never said this publicly.
No.
I don't think it's investing.
It's bonus.
It is
bonus.
house money,
Yeah.
but because it's so liquid, you could pull it out at any time. So you're not really an investor. Like, I don't find that as investing. An investor goes in, writes a check, long-term commitment.
For sure.
It's a long-term commitment. It's like getting married at any time going, well, I think I'm going to move out today. Like, that's what your 401k is, and you think you're an investor. I'm like, that's not investing.
Right.
Investing is, all right, we're in this deal for 5 years.
It's like pulling your car into the dealership lot and saying, yeah, I'm done with that one.
I'm done with that. Like, you had it 3 days, bro.
Well, hold on. So you signed a 60-month note. No, I'm done with that one.
No, I need another one.
Yeah,
Can I have my money back? And they look at you like, what?
Hey, we are getting somewhere, so hang tight. In the meantime, go to our website, mrtxre.com. Check out what we do. Absolutely go check out mrtxre.com. Hang tight. We'll be back. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. This is the Texas Real Estate Mastermind Hour. That's a better way to say it. Forgot the hour one, right? It's like the Texaco Radio Hour. Anyway, my point, Jason, was, okay, so in that 5-year window from 2017 to 2022, you would have made $100,000 on average.
Yes.
Now, in 2017, as they are today, for some reason, people have got this in their head, I got to make $250 a month cash flow. Mm-hmm. Like, I needed the cash flow, man. I need at least $250. I'm looking for $300-$500 a door. I'm like, where's that coming from? And even Jeff, our guest last week, said it was never there.
Yeah.
It's all guru speak, right?
Right.
So it's like, I need $250 a month. And I'm like, well, why? So we had the mastermind in the room this week, and I just said, why do you need it? Why do you need $100 a month? You have a W-2 income from Exxon
Yeah.
that is massive. Why do you need more income that's going to get taxed at 37%? Why do you need more of that? And no one knows.
Yeah.
No one can answer me. Because that's what I was taught at some other guru's house. I'm like, yeah, because that guru is not buying property.
Well, our job is really to deal with all the X's.
Yes.
It's kind of the pejorative joke we have around here. Yeah. It's like, well, she hurt me or he really hurt me. I'm like, look, I ain't that guy.
No, not that. Yeah.
I'm not that guy. Here's how it really works. Well, they said, I'm like, look.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you how to be successful.
I love the guy who is buying brand new, built, ground up property and then would complain to us. Hey, it's not appreciating like you're saying. We're like, yeah.
New construction doesn't.
We know because you got contractored, my friend.
Yeah. Oh, that's one of my favorite terms. You got contractor.
You got contractor. It's like, well, your numbers aren't correct because my investment's not going up. It's like, yeah, of course not. We're talking about buying here and here at this level. You're dropping $260,000, $280,000 and can't understand why you're not cash flowing and why it's not appreciating.
Yeah, new neighborhoods really don't.
Yeah, you're buying the wrong place. You're buying the wrong number. Just basic, figure it out.
Yeah.
And so they're convinced they're going to get this, and they don't get it. So even if they did make $250 a month for 60 months, 5 years, that's $15,000.
Whoa.
Right, about whopping $15,000 as compared to the $100,000 in equity. And
well, hold on, Rob. I'm not one of these real smart engineer types. Yeah. Is $100,000 more than $15,000?
Well, in most clubs, it's not.
It's not. Well, that's right. Most real estate clubs, it's not.
Most it's not. No, we have to.
Because you would have wholesaled it and made $5,000.
Yeah,
you're like, I'm killing it, bro.
Crushing it, man. $5,000.
Funny. I don't see any I see a lot of vision boards in real estate clubs. And when I go to their club meetings, I see no Lamborghinis in the parking lot. It's really weird.
Yeah.
None of those vision boards match what's in the parking lot.
Yeah. I told you the story of being in the Heights when I first came here. Hot July day.
Yeah.
And we're at an outdoor coffee bar, and I'm already hot, and I'm drinking the caffeine, and it's just double perspiration, right? And the guy's like, my family and I have bought and sold over $42 million in real estate. I was like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, what are you doing here, bro?
I'm sweating, and I'm here trying to find private money. Why are you here?
Yeah.
And I did it with a 1.5% transaction fee. It's like you churned.
Yeah.
It's like you didn't do any investing.
Anything.
You just sold, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. It's like a car salesman coming to your car club.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he doesn't know anything about, the engines and all the other stuff. He's just like, yeah, I sell cars, so I must be welcome here.
Yeah, I've driven all these multi-million-dollar cars. I'm like, oh, okay, well.
Yeah. How many do you own?
How many do you own?
Oh, none. I just sell them.
Okay, that's fine.
I wash them, detail them.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, great.
You have appreciation for the industry, understood.
Yeah.
But we're not having that same conversation.
Yeah.
So if you didn't make the cash flow, you still would have made $100,000. But people will not take that deal back in 2017 unless it was cash flowing $200 or more. They skipped out on those deals. Not interested.
I am really considering, Rob, because I'm just tired of arguing with people. Because at this point, you're just if I am okay with a debate, I'm fine with a debate, but I have very few debates. I have people.
Sure.
It goes back to that classic song with Biggie and Puff Daddy, and he says, "You tell it, I tell it how it is. You tell it how it should be." And I'm sitting here, I'm like, I'm telling you how it is. Here's the numbers. It's that simple.
Right.
Read the damn graph.
Yep.
It's that simple.
Yep.
And then it's like, well, you don't understand, Jason. It should be this and this. And I'm like, the biggest morons I debate with are the ones that were like, well, you haven't been through a crash. I'm like, technically, COVID was a crash. But then I'm like, okay, well, you tell me. Well, no, you don't understand. You don't have this experience. And I'm like, show me the data.
Right.
You don't have the data. You're making stuff up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if you want to keep making stuff up, fine. Go play that game with somebody who's not as in tune with what's going on in the market.
You know who I love? And this is one of the guys we talked about. I love the guy who's like, a crash is coming, and this time it's different. It's going to be even worse. I'm like, what? Wait, what? You're doubling down on that. Good for you, man.
That's good. Hey, at least be bold about it.
I'm like, I know you got some money. How about $1,000 bet? When do you think it's happening?
Yeah, no kidding. So I ran into Mark. So Mark grabs me. He goes, You know what?
That might be the guy I was talking about.
Oh, yeah, I was. But he's just such a smart ass, right? He goes, Bible, here's what's going to happen.
Here's what's going to happen.
He goes, there's not going to be a run on toilet paper. It's going to be on adult depends.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to be just losing our minds. You need to go right now, get you some adult diapers, because 23 is the year, brother. Like, he went on for like 3 hours while we're sitting there at this happy hour. He's like, get ready. It's all coming down. And I'm like, all right. As he just buys another commercial building, right? And everyone's like, looking at this guy, like, who is this guy? I'm like, just ignore him. Yeah. Just laugh and ignore him. But anyway, but it's interesting because when I talk to folks, it's like, world's going to end. I'm like, okay, you got a real estate portfolio, then why aren't you selling it?
Right. I'll buy it.
I'll buy it right now.
Yeah, we're good.
I'll buy it right now. Maybe that'll be my post. Anyways, I'm thinking about Operation Chaos 23 and just doubling down on world's going to end. It's crashing. My God, get out. Like,
well,
you need to live in a tent.
I would tell you. I mean, that is YouTube, right? It's clickbait.
Yes.
I was watching. I'm a New York Giants fan, right? So I'm on YouTube one morning, doing the bookkeeping, looking over YouTube. I like to listen to stuff, and I saw a little thing pop up, the little thumbnail saying, Odell Beckham signs with New York Giants. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I click it, and of course it wasn't.
Yeah.
It's like, what would happen if?
Oh, what would happen?
I'm
yes.
like, oh. So I'm like, report, spam, screw
come
you,
on,
thumb
dude.
down, all that stuff. But here's the deal. It's like, okay, guys, the world is crashing, and we're Mr. Potter. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
The world is crashing, and we're buying. So come on, and we'll buy your properties at 50 cents on the dollar. At least you'll make 50 cents.
Right, yeah. I mean, because the world is ending.
It's going to end, yep.
So you may as well just bring it on over. We'll buy as much as we can get our hands on.
It's absolutely insanity. Because if you had waited over that 5 years, even if you didn't have a big cash flow, or even if you just had $100 bucks a month, you would have lost money on the cash flow because of water heaters and all the other stuff, right? But you would have made $100,000, and if you had 10 of those, you would have made $1 million.
Yeah.
But people wouldn't bought it because it's how much time? Yeah, 1 minute. They wouldn't have bought it because it wasn't cash flow, because some guru embedded in their head they've got to get monthly cash flow, right? And that's a big problem. So we're going to cover this all in our 3-day class. Come on out to our complete real estate investing. I know you think it's maybe you have some properties and you think, hey, I don't need to be taught anything. Well, maybe, but you certainly need to look at some different points of view on what you're doing. And that's going to be at mrtxrei.com, a whopping $97. Come on out for our class. 3-day class. It is the weekend before Thanksgiving, so November 18th, 19th, 20th, I think. So go ahead and check those things out. Come on out, and we'll be here. Hang tight. We'll be back. So we say that this is for folks that are making 6 figures, have a good FICO score, 700 or better, and have some capital to deploy. And then what we do is we go through a 12-step process. We look at everything. We want to make sure they have all their bases covered. Then our folks in our mastermind start going out and deploying their capital to buy cash flowing rental properties that will appreciate over the next 5 years. It is almost that time of the month where we're going to sit down and do 3 really intense days of real estate education. We're going to talk about the market. We're going to talk about how to find the deals. We're going to talk about how to find the money, how to find the right contractors, how to find the right property managers, how to set up your portfolio and create your LLCs and S-Corps. We cover all of that in an event called Complete Real Estate Investing. And it's Friday night, and it's Saturday, and it's Sunday. And you can just click here and hit the link, and you can sign up for our 3-day. There you go. Go to mrtxrei.com. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert Jason with the world-famous Mr. Texas Real Estate, and this is the Texas Real Estate Mastermind Hour.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is your power hour.
Your power hour. Okay, guys, here you go. 2 claps.
Jeez.
So one of the things we dug down a little deeper was, it's like, I've been telling this story about the homeless billionaire, right?
Yeah, it's going to go in the book.
Lobstering guy and all that stuff, right? And I I would tell them, like, he can fish anywhere in the world. Like, this is a guy now who fishes for piranha. I want to fish piranha, right? So somewhere out there is a sportsman trip where you can go up the Amazon and throw some nets out and bring some piranha up, right? Whatever, right? Oscars, whatever, right? He's going to go do this stuff. When he flies private. So that's, a good $100,000 round trip to Brazil. So what does he do? He just refis some of his houses. And how much taxes does he pay on that? Zero. But for some reason, you'd want $15,000 cash flow over 5 years, be taxed at 37% on that, versus pulling out $45,000 out of that house tax-free. And that's the difference between someone in the E quadrant and someone in the I quadrant.
Yeah, I think a lot of, I go back and I keep thinking about investors we've worked with in the past and how many are not even close to the I quadrant. Nope. Like they're flippers, they're wholesalers, they're home builders, and they think they're on that
business.
Yeah, they think they're in that I quadrant. I'm like, you're not even close, dude. Most of your income should come from that I box, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't for a lot of these guys. So it's interesting to me when you start to. It's kind of like if you guys ever did this as a kid, where you took a prism. It was like a science experiment when you're in like elementary school, and they would run light through the prism, and it would go from that clear light to the rainbow spectrum, right? And when you really start to understand,
you got one of those flags, right?
Oh yeah, I got full, like front yard's full of them.
Yep.
So, by the way, if you are not on Twitter right now, it is spectacular.
Oh.
They said their membership is up 20% since the 29th. Nice. How crazy is that? So anyway, he's going to turn that thing into a cash machine.
Yeah, goodbye Coca-Cola sponsor, hello Smith & Wesson, right?
Well, here's the interesting thing. Here's the interesting thing. That there was a kind of get sideways on this topic. Well, let me finish this thought, then we'll go into that. So the interesting thing is that when you're in this long enough, you're able to kind of parcel out like who are the real players and who aren't. And when you're first getting in, you're like, well, this seems like a good deal because the returns are really high and this is great. And I'm like, no, I'm telling you, like my spidey sense on this is just not
right.
Doesn't make sense. So I was with a group of guys I used to work with for 15 years last night. And they were like, what is exactly that you do now? And I'm like, we buy pieces of junk and fix them up. That's really what we do, right? And so
they help others do the same thing.
And we help folks do the other same things, right? So they said, well, what, we heard about syndications and funds. And I said, here's a dirty little secret. Most syndications and funds fail.
Yeah.
And they were like, what? I was like, oh, yeah. In fact, we were sitting in our mastermind this weekend, and I was at that happy hour Friday. How many guys were sitting there going, we're all about to get capital call.
Yep.
We're all about to get capital calls.
Even the limited partners.
Yeah, the limited partners are getting capital calls.
At least if we do it, it's only on the general partners. We haven't done it yet. Well, we did it once just for a small little thing, but yeah.
Yeah, it's
we
coming.
upgraded our property.
So a lot of these guys they've not gotten cash flow since COVID. And they were like, Jason, you don't understand. I don't invest anything unless it's 18% return. I'm like, well, how have the last 2 years treated you? Yeah, zero. And now it looks like, because these guys are real estate gurus too, they're about to get a capital call.
Yep. Well, the problem is right now everyone's having a really tough time refinancing. And, thank God we have 14 different relationships with lenders.
Right, yeah.
Thank God, right? It's like, oh, why don't you do it all with this guy? I'm like, we love that guy. We absolutely love him, and he's fantastic. But I need 12 more just like him.
Yeah, because I know what happened during COVID.
I remember.
When a certain lender literally turned the lights off and hung up their phones.
Yep, would not pick up.
And then 9 months later.
We're in the middle of 4 deals, and they just
literally closing like in the next couple weeks. And then I will never forget the email I get from them 9 months later. We've always been here for you through COVID. Yeah. So Rob makes it a point whenever we go to these big lending summits, someone from our staff must walk up to their booth and say, you guys absolutely suck.
Yeah.
And they know us, and they're like, we know. We're sorry.
How can we make it better?
Like, how do we
Let's
make it
repair this relationship.
No, we're not doing that.
Yeah. We had one guy go to them with I texted him. I was like, hey, is so-and-so there? And they're like, yeah. I was like, tell them they suck. And he went over there, and he showed them the text message. Like, we know. It's like,
we kind of abandoned you guys, a couple $1 million in deals.
Yeah,
it's cute.
We remember.
That's all right. You guys do well. Have fun there, wherever they're from.
Yeah.
So anyway, but So now, guess what? This is the classic what Warren Buffett says. Hey, when the tide goes out, you see who's not swimming with trunks on.
Right.
And so that's where we're at in the marketplace.
Yep.
So you're going to see a lot of deals that blow up in Q1 and Q2. A lot of apartment deals are going to go under. Why? Because they bought them too thin. Taxes and insurance are going up. And they're going up faster than rents.
Yep. So, hello, investor. We're going to do a little pivot here. Everything's fine. Versus, hello, investor. We need you to write a check for $50,000.
And you're like, what?
Right.
Oh, by the way, from your same IRA that's lost 25% in the last year.
Which you probably couldn't do.
Yeah.
So what happens then is they get their equity washed, right?
That's right.
They're going to lose it. Yeah, it's happening. It's okay. This is what happens in investing. And this is the other point I made this weekend. It's like, hey, do you think 18% is a pretty standard return? And everyone's like, well, yeah, I want to make 18%. I'm like, well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And someone finally, risk.
Bingo.
There you go.
We know where the adult is in the room.
Yeah, there you go.
So here's one point I want to make, and then I want to talk about rates of return here in a minute. One of the things I have heard where somebody said, Jason, all these deals are going to blow up. That means I'm going to get calls from the bank to buy them. And I said, I had happy hour with some very high level folks on Friday.
Yep.
And they have, let's just say they know some folks who have some property,
Yep.
really big property.
Nobody wants to go through it again.
And they're literally trying to hand the bank the keys. And the bank's like, no, we don't want it back.
Yep.
Like, y'all keep like trying to make the payments.
Yeah.
We'll kind of figure it out.
We'll figure it out, yeah.
So if you think the bank is going to take all these back and get their balance sheet destroyed,
They're not
that's
doing that
delusional.
again.
They're not even doing it with commercial.
Yeah, they didn't do it during COVID. They didn't do it during the other stuff. No, not
They're
happening.
like, hey man, just like we'll work out the detail. Let's just get through the next year.
Just keep going. Yeah.
Just like keep leasing. Just we don't want the property back. You guys keep doing what you can do, and we'll figure something out in the next year or two. So there's not going to be Jesus could be all these foreclosures. I'm going to be buying an office building at 10 cents on the dollar. You are completely lost on what is operationally occurring in the marketplace in the finance sector. It's absolutely insane. So, all right, let's go back to returns. So there is a Class AA plus asset. The tenant is probably more solvent than the U.S. government.
Sure.
It's a single tenant office space in the single tenant space in an area of town that is the nicest area of town.
Cool.
Galleria River Oaks area.
Sure.
So a broker sends me the deal and says, here's the deal, cap rates, triple net, it's about 4% return. But when I looked at the risk, I'm like, this is like buying a freaking bond for the rest of your life with a ton of because equity will continue to build in it.
Sure.
I think they needed 50 million, something like that. 4 or 5% rate of return. I'm like, I would do that deal all day long if I had the cash to do it. Great. And somebody asked me like, why would you do it? I'm like, where can you park 50 mil in an asset with this little risk that has this much upside? And they go, oh yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, it was a really neat little deal. But like I said, you got to get to kind of the point. They call those coupon clippers, by the way. In
We got
commercial
one
real
of those
estate.
coming up. Hey, guys, hang tight. We'll be back. When we come back from this message, go to mrtxre.com. Check out all the events we have coming up for the next few weeks. Okay. Hey, guys, welcome back. This is Robert and Jason with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. This is the Texas Real Estate Mastermind Hour. Hey, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. I'm going to go over a few more things. We'll talk a little bit of Twitter and Elon. But we want to make sure that you guys are aware of all the events coming up. You got to go to our website, mrtxre.com. Check it out. Go to our webpage. Go to our Facebook page. Go to our YouTube page. I even think we're doing something on LinkedIn these days. So make sure you're checking us out there. So again, we're just wrapping this thing up here. Trying to make $250 a month as an employee at 34 and 37% tax rate versus making technically what would have been, I guess, $1,000 a month over 60 months by doing a refi which has zero taxes on it. And that's where we're trying to go. That's where we're trying to be in that level where, get used to refi. You're going to refi two homes a year, pull $40,000 out or $100,000 out or apartment building and pull money out and do what you need to do for no taxes.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Oh my God, they're like crazy. Like Biden. But they're stuck in the cash flow at 37% tax rate. I'm like, why wouldn't you just come over here and there's zero tax rate?
Yeah.
There's zero taxes.
Yeah.
Be an investor where you get a nice fat return with a zero taxes.
So here's the problem. That's how real estate works in all the major markets in the country.
Yep.
That's how it works in
That's why they buy
Boston, New
them,
York,
yeah.
Miami-Dade, Southern California. Like, they're just refining, taking a couple bucks. They're taking the depreciation so it goes against their earned income.
Sure.
Then they're doing some cash out refis from time to time. They sell some building in 15 years. Like, that's how it works.
Yes.
But the problem is that the real estate guru space has promised this, like, you'll get rich
30
today.
days, 60 days.
Yeah, you want to make $1 million today? It's like, you don't make $1 million today. I mean, if you did, could somebody get you a better suit, buddy? I mean, come on.
So I've been following Elon a little bit. $8 for the blue check.
Yeah.
So have you signed up?
Have they rolled out the verification
No, they tried
yet?
to, then they stopped, and they're trying to figure it out. And
Okay.
but what's his name? The other rich guy on Shark Tank, Mark Cuban,
Okay.
said, hey, you want to be the most accurate media source on the planet? Then let people get free subscriptions if they are deemed to be one of the most accurate posters. I was like, brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Brilliant idea. The more accurate you can be and the more you can cite your data. Yeah, that's who we want putting content on
Right,
there, right?
right.
That's fine. He deleted every fake account, every parody account.
Oh, I love
gone overnight. Get rid of them all.
I love that he destroyed Kathy Giffin's account. Like, it was awesome.
Gone.
Awesome.
Yep.
Not playing games.
Well, that's the problem. Like, that is a big, big problem because a lot of people use Twitter to drive their products, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's cut it out. It's like, woof.
Yeah. So here's what happened on Twitter. Everybody renamed their handles to Elon Musk. And he was like, obviously it's not me. Cut it out.
Right.
Like, unless it's an obvious parody, like Elon Musk parody account, then you can say crazy Elon Musk stuff, right?
Right.
And so in any case, so he got sick of that. And he's like, all right, if you guys don't change it back, they sent out like a platform-wide.
Right.
You got 24 hours to change it. And then from here on out, we're just banning everybody. So he just starts crushing accounts.
Yep.
I'm like, it's great. You want to play games? Look, you're playing with the guy. You're trying to start a fight with a guy in his own backyard. Like, I don't get it. Like, these liberals, and it's all the liberal media. It's really not it's all the liberal folks are just like, free speech, but Elon's going to change free. Well, Twitter was never free speech to begin with. So don't give me this free speech mantra. So they're all trying to protest on Twitter. It's like, and what I think's so funny about it is because when the conservatives were screaming and yelling during the election, they said, well, why don't you start your own social media platform? Elon laughed, bought Twitter, kicked everybody else out. Like,
why don't you go?
It's great. Like,
Yeah.
why don't you guys start your own? Learn to code, bro.
Yeah.
Kathy, why don't you learn to code?
So, and I'm definitely a free speech advocate for sure. Like, as horrible as it can be, right? It's got to be there. But it is funny to see how the left is going to be disrupted. Like, it is massive disruption for those folks because if you're pegging him as this, the bad guy, then why are you on his platform?
Right.
If you hate billionaires, right? You can't stand billionaires, and he's disrupting free speech and giving all these hate groups a platform. What are you still doing there?
Right.
Oh wait, you've got 4 million followers on there, and that is your lifeblood. Oh, wait a minute. So it's really not free speech.
Yeah,
it's
about the
about
money.
commerce, right?
Well, Rob, we said it the other day, there's only 2 reasons you're on stage, and that's why people are on social media.
Yep.
There's only 2 reasons. Making money
Yep.
or ego.
There you go. For
And
sure.
most of the time it's ego. You can actually spot the type of pictures people post. Will tell you exactly how much ego they require. Probably a good way to put that. As nice as I can.
Well, I think that's really interesting. I don't think he wants to get down to that level. It's like, hey, if she's an influencer pushing makeup, I don't care, right?
He doesn't care about
Doesn't
that.
care about that. Just keep posting, get more followers. That's all good. But when you want to attack the heart of the issue, which is free speech, and be a hypocrite, remember, someone said it. I don't know who. I hate quoting people if I don't remember who it was. Giving them anyway. Someone said the only sin for this next generation is hypocrisy.
Yes.
Right? Like, hey, I don't have daughters, but they all look like porn stars to me. Like the stuff that they're wearing and doing, I'm like, I'm a Democrat. Now I'm like, my God, I feel like I'm the Christian right from the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Looking, I'm like, what are they wearing? You can't do that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I guess you can.
Yeah.
So this is what it is. I guess now I'm part of that age group that fondly remembers my generation. We did nothing wrong, even though everyone was yelling and screaming at Madonna. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, you see what Madonna was wearing, all that stuff. But here we are, just next generation, right? So,
Well, I think it's look what passes as business professional dress at
for sure.
real estate events.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Brian and I had this joke that we were going to start a hard money lending company called Lulu Lending for all of the yoga pants that show up at these events. Like, in what industry is that appropriate?
It's fine. But for me, I understand. Hey, it is what's happening. This is society.
That's fine. It's just like
this is society. We get the government we deserve, right? So if it's going all Republican today, so be it. This country is a Republican country. Period.
Well, Elon said, since we got a Democrat in office, everybody vote Republican. And then his next, like right below that, in the next sentence said, because it's great when they're just fighting with each other.
Well, that's what we said. Yeah,
That's what we
let
said,
them keep
right?
fighting each other. Yeah,
Yeah, just let them fight with each other, and they could fight on Twitter, and you're a racist, and you're, I don't know, a socialist, and they just don't get anything done. It's great.
I look at like people that proclaim themselves to be a feminist, and I'm like, I can understand your point of view. You're absolutely right. There should be discrimination in pay. I get it. If people are doing the same job and working the same amount of hours, I'm totally fine with that. I get it. It comes down to the meritocracy, the whole reason I moved here, right? But if you're complaining about these things and you're on Twitter, got it. Hey, man, why? Don't be a hypocrite. If Elon Musk is shutting it all down and, there's no more people from the left and that whole, he's going to crush feminism and he's all this and all that. And, well, okay, then why are you on that platform?
Yeah, if it's that bad, why are you still here?
Why are you still there?
Well, and I'll give you a good example. The conservatives that whine and cry on Facebook. It's like, well, what are you doing on here, dude?
Absolutely, yeah.
Most of y'all aren't making any money from it anyway. So what's
I've
the
had
point?
30 years of them. I don't believe the right.
I don't believe the left either. I mean, it's
Yeah.
all just. Well, here's what happens. Everyone plays the game. Everyone's political affiliation is just their idealized self.
Of course.
But when the decision's made in their household, things get real interesting real quick.
Mm-hmm.
When you have daughters,
Sure.
a lot of those liberal Democrats, no, you're not wearing that. You're not doing that.
Texas, we're all about freedom here.
Yeah,
Unless you want to smoke weed, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Can't do that.
But in these four walls, yeah, we can. We're all about this and all about that. And then it's when it's in these four walls. Here's the rules, right?
So skip it all and come to real estate and come to Complete Real Estate Investing, MRTXREI, and get yourself out of this stuff. Thanks. We'll be back.